Everyone was wrong about World of Warcraft Classic. League of Legends is coming to mobile, and Valve steals another video game. My name's Force. Welcome back to the Force feed, your #1 source for all the news that I care about. Gonna be jumping right into the WoW discussion today. There's a lot of stuff I want to talk about, but before we get into the video, thank you to today's sponsor. Today's video is sponsored by Manscaped.com, the only men's brand dedicated to below-the-waist grooming and hygiene. I got the Perfect Package 2.0, which features the Lawnmower 2.0, a waterproof manscaping trimmer with replaceable ceramic blade head, the Crop Preserver, a 24-hour moisturizing deodorant, the Crop Reviver, an all-natural spray-on body toner and refresher, and if you're looking for a closer shave, they've got the Plow, a stainless steel double-edged single-blade safety razor. And finally, it includes the Magic Mat, a unique set of disposable shaving mats, and hilarious bathroom reader. All products are made in the USA and feature a 30-day money-back guarantee, and as a free gift for subscribers, you can get the Shed Travel Bag, 20% off Manscaped, free shipping, and a free gift by using the code and the link in the description below. Okay, now let's go ahead and talk about the first topic, which is World of Warcraft Classic. Blizzard finally blessed us with access last week. Since then, I've managed to play the game a lot. I think I've sunk about 40 hours in, and it's just been so interesting. There's been so much conversation about this game, and one of the biggest interesting trends I've seen going on is all of these threads and these videos that are like, I was wrong about WoW Classic. People basically giving you the sob story about, oh, you know, I didn't think it was gonna be good, but I played it and oh, my brain's exploded. Here's basically another video, but not quite along those same lines. All the time I've been talking about WoW Classic, one of the major things I've been saying is I'm really excited for it. I think it's cool for XYZ reasons, but I probably won't play it for more than a few weeks or a couple of months. Well, I was wrong, because if this week is any judge of how it's gonna look, when WoW Classic comes out, my life is over. I anticipate that I'm going to be playing this game pretty heavily for quite an extended period of time. Now, I'm not going to go out onto the limb and say it's going to be just like vanilla WoW was, where this was the only game that I played for several years straight. I think it's safe to say that this is going to become another obsession of mine, like it has been in the past. And I know, we're treading over old ground. It's a game that we've already played. The mystery isn't there. But there's so much that's special about classic WoW. It really took me by surprise, kind of reliving the experience. Now, I talked about this a bit in the last video, and I'm going to quickly just tread over the major factors of what makes WoW Classic such a great experience. So first off, we've got the challenge. This is always brought up, but frankly, it's true. The combat is a lot tougher. You can't pull more than a couple mobs or else you're probably in a lot of trouble. It takes longer to kill things. There's more downtime in between stuff. Traveling is quite an event. Like, it's a time investment. It takes a lot of time to travel, and it has you a lot more immersed in this world. We've also got the resource management, the fact that in WoW Classic, money was hard to come by, and you really had to think hard about what you were spending the precious silver that you had on. There have been several times in leveling up characters in WoW Classic where I simply haven't had enough money to buy all of the skills that I had access to. You just have to think a lot more about what you're doing. A lot of modern WoW is basically cruise control. You can't do that in WoW Classic, and so much of all of that makes everything feel like a real adventure. Then we've got the social aspect of it, which comes in part due to the challenge that we just talked about, this common struggle that everyone's going through, this difficult combat, this resource management, this struggle to acquire things but that you can't really afford or you don't have the time to invest into, and the removal of the quality of life features, not being able to instantly teleport to dungeons and all this stuff, finding groups, actually having to communicate with people and form up to take down even just basic enemies like those damn camps of Murlocs. So much of this, with the challenge and the social features, really feed into this feeling like a proper MMO. And then we've got those RPG elements that are in Classic. The fact that you actually have to read your quest and just pay attention to what you're doing and where you're going. Again, every time I've played WoW these past few expansions, I still love the game and I play it a lot, but I'm basically on cruise control majority of the time because I don't have to read or think about anything. I just have to accept a quest and then go to the dot that's on the map. Now, yeah, there are gonna be add-ons that are basically doing it for you, but the baseline experience is at least one that's a lot more, I think, interesting and immersive. Classic WoW is a proper MMO where you have to work with other people at the beginning experience all the way through the end, whereas modern WoW is basically a solo game up until max level, and then you can, if you want, play with other people. I don't want to just sit here and say better and worse, retail versus classic, but I will say that they are clearly different experiences. Let's say this here. It's still very early on. We've only had access for a week. The beta is level capped at 30. There's still certainly this nostalgia feeling because, again, it's only been about a week. That doesn't take away from the fact that Classic WoW and Retail WoW are so very different in so many ways that they might as well be different games. With all this discussion going on in a couple of the videos that I've put out, you inevitably see a lot of people crapping on the game in the comment sections. You get, it's just nostalgia. You're gonna get tired of the grind. This game will be dead in 3 months. I totally hear and understand where these people are coming from. I don't quite get the glee that they find in trying to crap on people's enjoyment of something. I understand those like critiques and criticisms, but let me just say this. With everything that we just talked about, the simple fact of the matter is that people loved the World of Warcraft as it was when it launched in 2004 and 2005. And the World of Warcraft still exists as a game with all of its expansions and add-ons over the past 15 years, but it is a drastically different game. The game that we played back then was nothing like the game that we have right now. And up until this point, unless you're doing illegal shit on private servers, up until just recently, we haven't had the chance to play this old game that we loved. It just didn't exist in a legal fashion. The fact that we can go back and play this game is, I think, what people are so excited about. Now, you can try to bang over our heads the fact that there are problems with it. It's not a perfect game, and it's not a game that I'm going to be playing for 5 years straight, but it is a game that I loved that I can't play today until now, and that's a really awesome thing. If I were to sit here and say something like, I really love The Legend of Zelda, I really love Metal Gear Solid, I'm so excited to go back and play it, I don't think you'd see nearly as many people dumping all over that idea. But for whatever reason, whenever you bring up WoW Classic, people are like, it's a shitty game, you're not gonna have any fun, it's rose-tinted glasses. I don't think anyone's sitting here and saying it's a perfect game. Our only point is that it's a different game from what it is now, and we haven't been able to play it as it was until today. And I think there's total value in that. I feel like I'm definitely retreading some ground from the last Force Feed episode, but I just wanted to talk a bit about it because, you know, I have been having a blast this past week. I can't wait till it fully comes out. It's a game that I absolutely love, so you bet your ass I'm gonna talk about it, play it, and make videos about it. And I don't think that there's anything wrong with all these people who are excited about it. And everyone just crapping on this idea that people are looking forward to playing this game again. Get the fuck out of here. Please. Next up in the news, we gotta talk about League of Legends coming to phones. This might actually be a reality. According to an article on Reuters, Tencent and Riot Games are developing a mobile version of League of Legends. It wasn't too long ago where Tencent actually proposed this idea to Riot and they rejected it. Well then, Tencent turned around and made their own mobile League of Legends with this game called Honor of Kings, which launched in China in 2015 and quickly became the world's highest grossing MOBA. And now all of a sudden, Riot wants to work with Tencent in making their own version, and it looks like that's gonna happen. According to sources, Riot and Tencent have been working together on a mobile League of Legends for more than a year now. Evidently, will be launching at some point here in 2019. League of Legends is still a very popular game, but it is on the decline. It's losing popularity. It's not growing as much as it was in the past. If the desktop version of League of Legends isn't growing like it once was, this idea of them going to mobile, not entirely crazy. I wouldn't be too surprised if these rumors, if these sources turn out to be 100% correct. Last up in news today, Valve is copying yet another person's game. This time it's not in Dota, it's in Auto Chess. So Dota Auto Chess is this very popular mod where you buy units, you place them on the chessboard, you build an army, and then you fight other players. It's gained incredible popularity over these last few months, and now apparently Valve is working on their own standalone version of the game. In a blog post, they stated that they attempted to work with the team who made the mod of Auto Chess, but they eventually mutually decided against the collaboration. I think a big part of that was the fact that the team that made Dota Auto Chess is basically making their own mobile version of that, and apparently Valve wants to take the Dota Auto Chess experience and spin it off into its entirely own game. I wouldn't be surprised if this ends up becoming insanely popular, and I think after the failure that they had in trying to release their own card game, the Dota card game did not do well. They basically said not too long ago they're scrapping it, going back to the drawing board, and going to try to re-release it. They see something like this as more of a surefire bet. It's already a game type that people clearly love. This isn't all that terribly surprising, and I'm sure it's gonna do well. It's not a bad business plan what Valve's doing. Just take something that's already popular and basically buy the rights to it. And that's gonna do it for today's news. Thank you guys for coming to hang out with me. Again, I've been playing a lot of WoW Classic this past week. I'm gonna continue to play a bunch of WoW Classic, I'm sure, but fret not. I'll be doing other videos about other games, including the Force Feed news segment here. Even if today's video did pretty much feature WoW. We got some other stuff coming up, so stay tuned for that. Thank you all so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. I'll see you next time.